Hello, Austin County. Today we are here with Stephen Burnett. He is a Texas Agrilife DAR agent. Stephen, we're so glad that you're here with us today. And you have some very interesting things to share with us, so we'll just get right into it.
Okay.
All right, so tell us about you. What do you do? And it says DAR agent, but what is DAR and what do you do?
DAR agent is a disaster assessment and recovery agent. It started back during Harvey. The organization started with disaster assessment. And then in last September, we became our own unit. And we're all agents, but in September last year, we became specialists to handle disasters and things like that. We go out and we do assessments after a disaster happens and help people get their ISTAT information put into the system, which it's individual assistance icon. You go in there and you put all your information in and everything, and it goes to TDM, and then TDM gathers all that information, Texas Department of Emergency Management. They gather all that information up and send it into FEMA. And you have to meet a certain threshold to get money from the federal government. So that's our job, is to make sure that the areas that are affected hit that threshold.
I'll say, so gone are the days of filling out paperwork and whatever. Now it's all on the
it's
phone.
Online now. So,
okay.
And it's good. I mean, you can go on your computer or your phone. We have the QR code, and we'll give it to those folks. I give them a card, say if you need help, or I'll stay there and help them fill it out. It's worked out real well for us. We've done the Burl. We did the Panhandle fires, where there was the largest fires in the state of Texas ever. 1.2 million acres up there. We set up animal shelters and feed distribution centers and helping those folks try to get back on their feet.
Yeah.
It was pretty bad up there. And but our latest one was Burl.
Okay.
And we did everything. And I'm stationed in Austin County, but I cover Austin, Colorado, Fort Bend, Martin, and Matagorda counties, and work with the county agents, helping them, the ag and natural resource agents, the 4-H agents, the FCH agents, which you had one of our agents on podcast not too long ago.
Michelle,
right?
Yeah.
And I work with them, helping it. She does the family health, and I work with those folks. I have programs that I can teach that are my own, and we just help each other out in the AgriLife, you know.
So but your main thing is, like, if like when Beryl came, you came down here and you said, okay, Shelly, you have lost your house. Here's the ISTAT. Let's get you fixed up. And then if I needed something else, I called you and I said, hey, I have not heard back from FEMA. You know, did I do something wrong? And you can help me with things like that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And you mentioned a whole bunch of different places. I know you said you had 254 Texas counties. Now, that's not just you, correct?
We have 20-plus agents that in our unit,
okay,
and they're covered all over the state of Texas. We have one director, Monty Dozier. He's Dr. Dozier's in College Station. Our ops boss is in College Station. We have a recovery. We have 4 area chiefs. I'm in the south.
Okay.
So we have one in the north, east, west, and south, and I'm under the south area chief. And there's 7 DAR agents under my chief. And then we have a recovery coordinator, state operations center liaison that work in Austin.
Okay.
And then our logistics person is in College Station.
Okay. And like you mentioned that you support the local government. So basically, if Austin County is declared an emergency, they call you. You're one of the people that they call.
Well, first,
or do you coordinate everything?
No. What can happen is the county agent will be getting calls.
Okay.
Which is Stacy Villarim. She's the ag and natural resource person.
Okay.
The emergency management coordinator will call and say, hey, I've got ammo issues. So they'll call Stacy. And then if it's too big for Stacy, she'll call me
Okay.
And I'll get a hold of my area chief and say, hey, boss, we need some more people here. And then a request will go from the emergency management coordinator for Austin County to the state. And then TDM will decide how many people they need to send from us here to support Austin County.
Okay.
So it could wind up being 6 to 10 people on the team. Depends on how big it is.
And then do you guys hang around here, or do you come in, help, and then leave? I mean, is it one of those things like...
So I'll stay because Austin County is mine.
Okay.
But the rest of the folks, they'll go back to their jurisdictions and things, and I'll be here after it's said and done in case things come about that need to be taken care of. I can do it myself with Stacy.
Okay. I was like, sometimes you just never know. It's, you think, oh, okay, we got this all tied up, and then bam, something happens.
Yes, ma'am.
And so basically you help any and everybody who needs it. You are not, you're the boots on the ground guy.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And I know you talked about the different things, and it says Texas Division of Emergency Management and the University System. And then what does that Keeping Texas Prepared initiative?
That is under the Texas Department of Emergency Management.
Okay.
That is the initiative that was set up, and Dr. Chancellor Sharp at A&M, we follow that under TDM, and it's just keeping Texas prepared for any type of disaster. We give, during Blue Skies, we go out and do classes, helping people stay prepared.
What is Blue Skies?
Blue Skies like today.
Oh, okay.
It's beautiful weather.
Oh, when there's nothing going on.
Yes, we go out and we provide classes to, help people get prepared, to stay prepared.
Right.
And then when gray skies, when, the boogie monster comes out,
yeah,
we're there to support those folks.
So basically you're making sure that before that rain starts falling, people have an idea.
Yes, ma'am.
And that's wise, because there are a lot of people that, I used to live on the Gulf Coast. I lived in Beaumont, and, we had hurricanes and all kind of stuff. And it was amazing the number of people who would, it would come and they would stand there and were confused as to, what should I have done, or the help that, is available. It's nice to know that there's a place, that you can.
Well, the bad thing is, people don't understand weather like they should. They don't heed the warnings. You've got at least 5 days for a hurricane, and they're telling you that you need to leave. Well, you got 5 days. Get out.
Right.
Tornadoes, you don't have, it's quick.
Right.
So, floods, they're going to tell you, hey, you're expecting this so much rain, you might want to evacuate.
Okay.
People
they
listen, they hang around and said, oh, I can ride it out.
Right.
So,
as my mom did, or my granddad did, or whatever. Okay, so we talked about like floods and stuff and fires. Have you had in our area, what are some of the, I don't know, I like stories. What are some of the most interesting things, I guess, that you've come across?
In Austin County?
Mm-hmm.
Well, not too long ago, we had that EF1 hurricane, or tornado that came through on...
Was that in Belleville?
It was between Belleville and Brenham.
Okay.
Out that way. There was an EF1 tornado.
I guess I didn't realize it was...
Yeah. A lot of people were saying that it was...
just high wind.
High, strong, winds. But there was a meteorologist out there when I went out there to check on stuff. And he said, no. He said, this is EF1.
Oh, wow.
You could see the damage. And it was pretty bad just for an EF1. Yeah. Now, we've had some high, straight line winds that did similar damage in Belleville before that, a couple weeks prior.
Yeah.
But yes, that was an EF1.
Oh, wow. So the things you learn. All right. So where all have you gone? I know you said the agents help each other. So you've been all over the state of Texas and helped other agents?
Well, our unit has.
Okay.
We've been to the Panhandle, to Perrington during that tornado. Right. I went up there and helped the emergency vet team from A&M. We've been up in the other parts of Perrington and other places up there when that 1.2 million acres burned. That whole Panhandle area up there, we had agents up there working different animal shelters and feed distribution centers.
Yeah.
So, and then Burrell, I worked the flooding in East Texas with 12 other DAR agents. We went over and did damage assessments over in Liberty County and, Harris County and Montgomery and all that area over there, and it's pretty nasty.
Yeah.
People's things just completely washed away. So
Yeah, when they had, I don't even remember which, like I said, I lived in the Gulf Coast, so we went through all of them. But the one where, people's houses up to the roof, just gone. And we were very fortunate. We never had anything like that where I was. We were very fortunate. But it's, and people really don't know where to go. They're shell shocked. And so that's the thing. Oh, that's another thing I guess I was going to ask is that, okay, you do the stuff like helping with the animals and stuff. Does your team have people who do like mental health counseling and stuff like that, or is that a separate division?
We've all been trained in mental health.
Okay.
Stuff to look at signs.
Okay.
And help people, tell them what they need to do, recommend different things. We're not experts in it.
Right.
We don't want to be experts in it, but we've been trained to recognize the signs and symptoms so we can help direct those people where they need to go and get their help. So,
because some of them, they're just shell shocked. You come back and there's just nothing.
Well, it's like in 2016 and 2017, I lived in Angleton, and 2016 is when we had the flood there. And then 17, we had Harvey. Well, it's people just, I saw a lot of water.
Yeah.
My house was one of 4 on my street in the county that didn't have any flooding in the house, but it covered my yard.
Yeah.
And I was kind of like sitting in a moat. But I helped a lot of people out. I wasn't working for A&M at the time, but I helped, the TxDOT people and anybody that come by. There was one lady that her and her son were in a boat, and she was walking in the water with, just her top and shorts on. And I said, ma'am, you need to get out of that water.
Yeah.
Because you don't know what's in that water.
Yeah.
And she goes, well, I got to get back to my car. Luckily, I had a high-rise truck, so I said, y'all get in the truck. We put me and her son, put the boat on the back of my truck, and I drove them down the end of the road to get out of the water.
Yeah.
And, I just help her because I got 35 years experience in emergency management. That's my background.
Okay.
And I sheltered 13 people, 6 dogs, and plus me and my wife at our house near Harvey.
Well, you got to help, neighbors helping neighbors. All right. So what does it take to do what you do? Like what sort of degrees you do, do you have?
In order to get into the DAR unit, you have to have at least a bachelor's degree. And mine is in emergency management and fire science. Most of the folks that work with us have agriculture backgrounds, something to do with agriculture. But you have to have at least a bachelor's degree. And
then you get all the different certifications and things. And so I guess you, like everybody else, you have lots of ongoing continuing education. And
I've got a 4-inch binder that's full of certificates and certifications. And matter of fact, I'm fixing to get another certification in January to further the teen cert, which is Citizens Emergency Response Teams.
Okay.
It's for teens. And I'm going to get another cert for that. I am one of 26 master cert instructors in the state of Texas.
Wow.
But, and I do teach teen cert too, but this is going to be an addition to all that.
I was going to say, you use a lot of acronyms, and when we're all done, I'm going to get you to write down what all the acronyms stand for. So when this video is all finished, we're going to put it at the end so that as we hear the acronyms, people will know exactly what that is.
So believe it or not, the Federal Emergency Management Association, FEMA, they have their own book of acronyms. The United States military has theirs. Texas has theirs.
So what you're saying is I'm fixing to have a big...
Sometimes they don't all mean the same thing.
Right.
But, yeah, I have all those books with the different acronyms in it so I can keep track of it.
Okay. Well, you can give me the acronyms that you draw.
Yes, ma'am.
And so that we'll know. All right. So just another review. You do emergency preparedness risk reduction. So basically, you don't always just go in after. You go in before, like you said, during blue skies. And okay, now when it says risk reduction, does that mean that you like look at the land around you and say, guys, this looks like a flood zone. get your boats out and be ready. Is that the kind of stuff?
We go in and help people get prepared, reduce the risk of, fires, around your house. What can you get rid of?
Okay.
What kind of shrubberies should you have and should you not have? We look at different things. Is your area prone to flooding? What you need to be prepared for. I teach a disaster preparedness and resilience course. It's about an hour and a half long, and it's a PowerPoint presentation. I ask questions. I give out information to people, and I give them a bag to get their go kits or stay kits started. And it's got a few things in it, to get them started. And I give them a list, and it's a checklist, but it's not a detailed checklist. It's just, this is a starter.
Right.
You can add to it if you want to, or you can take away from it. But this gives you an idea of some of the things that you need for a stay kit, if you're going to stay or if you're going to go. And each person in the family needs one. But the biggest thing I can tell you is make a plan and involve everybody in the family, whether it's grandma in a wheelchair or your 6-year-old son or daughter. Get them involved. Everybody should have an input in that. And so that way you know what needs to happen, and practice evacuation drills.
Right.
Practice fire drills. Check your smoke detectors and, fire extinguishers that you have.
I was going to say, I didn't realize everybody needed their own bag. You usually just think, grab the bag.
No, everybody needs at least a, small backpack of essentials.
I didn't even think that. Because you're not going to wear grandma's underwear. You're going to need your own underwear.
Hopefully you're not.
Well, no, but I'm saying you don't think about that. You always think, okay, take the papers, take the medicine, take whatever. But, you would need an extra pacifier if you had a little one or things like that. The extra blanket, or I didn't even think about that.
You need water.
Right.
You need non-perishable foods. If you have animals, you need to make sure they have water and food. You go with them. And if you got a bed for them, take a bed. There's all kinds of things. And have these kits ready. You can store them in the garage.
Right.
In a box, one of those plastic boxes. But go through it every once in a while and make sure that the things are still in date. Like, your first aid stuff goes out of date.
Right.
So you need to make sure that those Band-Aids are not stuck together. You can use those. Any like Neosporin or stuff like that, it's going to expire sooner or later or dry up.
Right.
Your water, after a certain time, go in and drink that water and replace it with fresh water.
Yeah.
Your canned goods that you're going to have, change them out. If you can get those MREs,
yeah,
they're good to have, but they only last a certain amount of time.
Right.
So,
and that's true. And I didn't even realize that, because we got, after one of the hurricanes, we got MREs and we didn't use them. And I thought one day, I'm going to go ahead and open it. And one of the things they had in it was little packs of Skittles. Yeah. And they had all melted. They were all melted together. It was a lump. And I
like little hot sauce bottles.
Oh, well.
But MREs nowadays are not like they were when I was in the service. Oh, these MREs nowadays are awesome.
Oh. So what was yours? Bread and water?
Oh, they were nasty. We had sea rats too when I was on the ship.
I'm sorry, what?
Sea rats.
What?
It's like an MRE, but they call it sea rats.
You meant a real rat. I was like, what's a sea rat?
It's a package just like a MRE.
Okay.
They were nasty.
Oh, I was going to say, because the ones we had, it had like spaghetti and, like I said, little Parmesan cheese and all kind of stuff like that.
Back then, it might say spaghetti on it, you open it up and it's like, that's not spaghetti.
Oh, okay. Well, these are pretty.
Might have been spaghetti at one time, but
not then. So okay, and another thing was community health. So we talked about that. You're not just, hey, I'm here, and then hey, I'm gone. You actually check back on people, and
I help out the FC, the family health and community agent. I help them out. If there's things, there is different programs that they put on, like dinner tonight. It shows you how to cook when you don't have power. What type of things do you use to make a hot meal? Whether it's a camp stove or your barbecue pit or a campfire.
Right.
You can make hobo packs. Put your stuff in a aluminum foil and lay it on the fire, and you got a hot meal. So.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. And another thing it says that
Well, I was going to ask, is that Michelle's area?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you just some overlap with them.
I support them, and if they need help with that, yes, sir.
Okay. I wanted to ask that.
Yeah.
Because that's what it sounds, what you was talking about.
I was going to say, and so basically, this is one of those things. You guys are kind of like the strands of a rope. Y'all are all interwoven to make the community stronger.
Yes, ma'am.
In times of need.
The Michelle and Stacy and Kaylin, they're all Kaylin is the 4-H person. They're all county agents.
Okay.
Now Stacy is state and county.
Okay.
And I'm all state.
Okay.
So I'm kind of in that same category as TDM, Texas Department of Emergency Management. They're state, and I fall in the same category as they do as state, and we work hand in hand together.
All right. I was just saying that it says emergency response and recover. So you guys help. Do you actually open the shelter, or again, do you just assist?
We assist.
Okay.
Our main thing is more the animal side in AgriLife.
Animal is in dog, cat,
dollars and cats. We got to get those things set up and make sure that there's kennels and for the small animals and stuff. Now, if it's large animals like horses or cows or goats or whatever, then we're working on a plan with Stacy right now to get it finalized for using the fairgrounds, because they have all those pens out there
right,
that we can use.
That's right.
And the backup would be the auction bar.
Okay, I'll say I'm glad to know about the animals because I'm a pet mom.
No, we have a lot of foster animals, not foster, but
because
animals that have come to our house that are ours now.
I was going to say that's one other thing. I keep talking about the hurricanes that we did, but the people that lived across the street from us did not come back right away, and they left their animals. And there were volunteers out there bringing them food. They just left them in the backyard, which that's a whole nother story. But I was surprised to see, how many volunteers were out there feeding the animals. So,
well, a lot of people, they don't want to leave if they're asked to, hey, you need to evacuate.
Right.
They don't want to leave because they can't take their animals.
Right.
Well, the Stafford Act was set up that shelters could take in animals with the people that have them.
Okay.
There's a separate area set up, outside or something, not inside with the folks, but outside. And, they can go out and check on their animals, help feed them and make sure they're okay. And there's vets there that take care of them and everything. But a lot of people just didn't want to leave, like in Katrina. I'm leaving. I'm staying with my animals. Or they were forced to leave. Well, that's why that act came out.
I was going to say, because what a lot of people don't understand, some are animal lovers, some are not. But some of these, especially your elderly people, these are their friends. They have lost all their loved ones, or
that's their kids.
And it's their kids and it's their friends, and they feel very strongly about them. And like I said, I love my fur babies, but, within reason. I would never leave them to be hurt, but
all ours are rescues.
Oh, well, yeah. That's a whole nother show that we could do there, all about rescue and good stuff like that. But okay, so now here's the big thing. You talked about the go bags, all right? And the thing is you've talked about the recovery and stuff, but tell us again, in as much detail as you can, what do I need in my bag? If I'm going, it's only me and my husband, and of course our fur babies. So if my husband and I are going, we know we need the medicine, like I take meds every day and stuff like that. We know we need that, but what do we need that I wouldn't think of maybe?
If you have a will, you need your will.
Okay.
At least some kind of bill that says that that's your house, because a electric bill or city bill.
Right.
That way, when you come back in, hey, this is my house. I need to get to it. They'll let you in. Now, as a responder, I have a emergency responder badge, so that gets me in anywhere that I work, and I can get back into my house too. Cash, because the ATM machines are more than likely going to be down.
Right.
You can have your card with you,
right,
and your checkbook, but they're probably not going to be any good because there's no power and they can't verify the check or anything. So make sure you have cash on hand. I recommend $500 to $1,000, depending on how long you think you might be gone.
That's true, though.
And some people say 3. 3 gram, but you need your meds for each person. If you're a diabetic and you have injections and they're supposed to be kept cold, make sure you have a bag for that, with ice packs.
Yeah, because they have those ones you can snap and it turns cold. Would that be the kind of thing we're talking about?
That or those little gel packs that you freeze in the freezer.
Okay.
They're probably 6x4 or something.
Okay.
I have a bunch of them in my freezer just for that.
Okay.
Make sure you carry all your meds, phone numbers of family, friends. Let them know that you're leaving when you get there, so they know that, hey, they made it.
I was going to say, because like me, I'm awful. All my phone numbers are on my phone. And so if my phone is dead,
Have a charger and have a backup portable charger.
Okay.
One that you can plug in and charges and are battery powered or whatever. And that way you can still, or even get a, what do you call it? The,
inverter.
solar.
Oh, solar.
Solar.
Oh, yeah.
They sell those. I keep one in my backpack that I can just set up on the dash and charge, and I can keep my phone charged that way too.
That's true.
So, any important papers that you think you might need, water. You need at least water for 3 days for each person. That's about a gallon a day is the way we look at it. And you need food that's not going to go bad, non-perishable food.
Right.
I hate to say this. I don't like it with Spam.
Spam's good.
Chicken underwood spread or potted meat, Vienna sausages.
It sounds terrible, stuff that has all the preservatives in it that they won't go bad.
Yep. Crackers, things like that. Peanut butter, because it won't go bad on you, because it's supposed to stay temperature wise, not cold.
Right.
Because once you get it cold, it's kind of hard to get it out of the can. But
yeah.
I
was just saying, I've heard too that you're supposed to have things that are like high calorie, high whatever, because if you don't get meals, then you've got something to keep going on.
Now your Nutri-Grain bars,
okay,
things like that, that have the grains in it. You can get the ones that have the chocolate and the peanut, peanut M&Ms or whatever in it.
Yeah,
any kind of thing like that. Nature bars, Iker, trail mix.
Okay,
those are good for you.
All right. What about your animals? You said the people, but if I bring my dog with me, do I have to have any sort of shot records for him? His rabies?
If you have him, my little dog wears his rabies tags all the time.
Okay.
If you do have your shot records, which we keep a copy every time we take him to the vet, we get a copy to put in his record. Vote in with your paperwork.
Okay.
Food and water for him or her too. Okay. And if you have a kennel, depending on where you're going, you might need that kennel because they might not have one at the shelter you're going to, and blankets and a little bed or whatever.
Okay. And the reason I asked about the shots and stuff is like when you go to board your animals, they won't take them unless they've had certain shots and things like that. So I didn't know if that was that would be a good idea to bring with you to prove that,
They're going to ask you when you go to the shelter, is your animal up on its shots and everything? Yes. And if you have the paperwork, you can show it to them.
Okay.
They're not going to turn you away.
Okay.
But the more information you can give them, the better.
Okay. No, I mean, obviously if Fido is foaming at the mouth, we don't want him, but
Fido will go over in a different corner. They'll put him in the protected area here because there's certain setups that they do. And what happens is the dogs that are potentially sick or cats, they'll put them in one area.
Okay.
And the ones that are questionable, they'll put them in another area, and then they'll put the ones that they know they're good, they'll put them in a separate area. That way the animals are not getting contaminated by the other ones.
Right. And that's something to think about because I didn't even think about that.
And the strays that come in, you don't know. So they go in the area that's possible contaminated.
Right.
So,
and this is kind of a little bit off topic, I guess. I know that some people have restrictions about like the type of animal, a lot of a lot of times don't like the bully breeds and stuff. Y'all don't turn anybody away?
We haven't.
Okay.
It's just that they go in a cage.
Okay.
Kennel.
Yeah.
If the person, if it's a little aggressive, then we have that person take care of that animal.
Okay.
Because we don't want our people to get injured. And like I said, I'm a rescue dog person and rescue cats, and my horse is even a rescue. So
I was gonna say, but that's something to think about too, because like I have a cat that, he's the sweetest, kindest, calmest cat in the world, but you put him in a different situation and he is the spawn of Satan. And nobody believes me that he is as sweet and kind as he is. You take him to the vet and they're like, how do you handle it? So that's something good to know, is that if you do know this about your animal, it would be wise to go ahead and say, hey, I'll take care of him, or at least let people know, hey, if he gets frightened, he gets aggressive, or, things like that.
Yeah, they need to know it's that way. They're protected.
Right.
You're protected.
Yeah. Okay. Is there anything I missed? Do you have anything on your list that we didn't talk about that I was supposed to ask you?
No. Just a little bit about my background. I graduated from Columbia High School, West Columbia, in 1982, so I'm pretty old. I'm 60 years old.
Let's not talk about old, but anyway.
I worked in the oil field for a little while. For 5 years, I worked at the Coastal Bend Council of Governments, which is in Corpus Christi. I was emergency management planner. I had 12 counties and 36 cities. I did all their emergency plans for them. Homeland security and mitigation plans also. Then I went to work for Texas Engineering Extension Service, TEEX, and I taught a class called Wide Area Search and When Disaster Strikes. And When Disaster Strikes is a 1.5-day course, and it's for the civilians, to get them prepared. Kind of what we do under blue skies. And the Wide Area Search is for the the individuals that do stuff like I do.
Right.
Your emergency managers, your police, fire, EMS, those folks go through that. But our agents have taken the Wide Area Search class. So we know that. After I left TEEX, I came over to A&M, or to AgriLife. So I've been with A&M system for over 7 years. And I love this job, that I do, because my background's in, like I said, is in fire and emergency management. I'm a retired Navy chief, 21 years. So I enjoy getting to do what I get to do.
Yeah.
I was a firefighter for 20 years as a
Pretty much done
volunteer.
it all.
Pretty much, but just like helping people.
Honestly, but that also really adds to your value, the fact that you've seen people in, various crisis times, and you have a little bit of, you're not some kid fresh out of college that, is starry-eyed and whatever. You really boots on the ground.
Well, it's nice to be able to give back.
Yeah.
And that's what this job lets me do.
And that's good. That's good. All right. So I think we've done it all. And let me put here, like I said, we're going to put the acronyms at the end. And this is a way, if you need something, do I have this correct up here? Texas Help, that's who we contact for what? If you are in a crisis situation,
you can go to those different sites, and there's different things on there that help you.
Okay.
Get notified of what you need to do.
Okay.
It's different. It has different things on there of who to contact, how to get things set up. So.
Okay, and like I said, we'll put your information at the end so you can get lots and lots of phone calls.
That's what I'm there for.
That's what you're there for. All right, well, we appreciate you coming in. We tried to do this early because, we're going into, heaven forbid, potential ice storms.
Yes, ma'am.
And things like that, and that weird spring squall that dumps feet of rain and stuff like that. And so it's good for people to kind of, to see you. So if they would see you, in the area, you are familiar. Well, okay, we'll go with that. But it does. It's nice to know who you're talking to, because a lot of times people sweep in, they give you a bunch of information, and they run out, and you have no idea of who they were. And so this was a wonderful chance for them, those of us in Austin County, me included, to see you and find out some of the things that you do.
Well, if people want any of the courses that that I'll offer, they just call me and set up a date, and I can come in and teach it at wherever they're at, church or
so you could do it for Boy Scouts and churches and high schools and stuff. Okay, good to know. We're going to have a long list of things at the end of this for people to look at. Because I didn't know, I personally have been learning a lot about AgriLife and all the things that happen. I didn't realize, I guess mistakenly, I thought it was just agriculture. It was just growing fruit trees and things like that. I didn't realize how far it extended.
Oh, it's a wide apron.
Yes. So I'm seeing that. But anyway, well, Austin County, there you go. We're going to get all the acronyms that he was throwing out for you and all of his information. Thank you again, and we hope to have you back.